Hey guys, what's going on? Scows here. We got Cam, Arkham, and Shadow. How's everybody doing tonight?
Your show.
Hey Sammy, what's going on? Thank you for pointing out the Shadow. We had a little technical difficulties today. It's not
We had
been
a
not been
problem
a, not been a great
gearing up.
night.
We had a problem gearing up, guys. So.
Yeah. So, so tonight we're going to be going over the AEW full gear predictions. We're going to start off and go through all the matches. You guys looking forward to the show?
Yeah, man. I'm back for it.
Hey, I don't care for it. I'm here to give my predictions, though.
This is very true. I probably won't be able to watch it because I'm not going to be home till later on, and I really don't feel like paying $50 for a pay-per-view event. They really need to get on the train of having a streaming service so you can pay monthly and get it a lot cheaper.
I don't agree with that. I think they're definitely so. They're not a publicly traded company. They don't need to have streaming services. They got to be elsewhere other than stadiums and revenues of merch, right? So.
No, I understand, I guess. Is there any particular order we want to go in, or you just want me to pick matches and then as we'll go? You want to go in?
We start off with the one right in the background, yeah.
All right. Probably the match that I'm looking forward to the least.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Cam. Why don't you start us off?
Okay, so TBS Championship match: Jade Cargill versus Nyla Rose. I haven't liked anything about this storyline build-up. I think it's completely dumb. How Nyla Rose, quote unquote, stole the TBS title from Jade and is parading around as she's the TBS champion. It's complete nonsense, honestly it is. And I think Tony Khan is a troll for doing this because if Nyla Rose beats Jade, that's just not going to make any sense, and it's going to be a complete slap in the face to everybody who should have beaten Jade, like, I don't know, Athena or Chris Statlander before she got hurt again. So my prediction, I hope, is going to be Jade retaining. I don't know. I guess this will be an okay match. It won't be anything special, I don't think, so, yeah.
Prince?
I think I might be the wild card out. I'm going with Nyla Rose. I do agree with everything Cam said that it is kind of out there. Doesn't make sense. But Nyla Rose on this will surprise Jade and get the win.
Shadow?
I don't really care for Jade Cargill. Like I've said in the past, I'm going to keep saying it. She's literally the female embodiment of Goldberg at the point. This whole thing is, but I don't, Nyla carrying around her belt, it makes zero sense to me. Like, the troll, I mean, the guy looks like a fucking, why not? Yeah, if I have to pick a winner here, I'm gonna say because of booking in the past, it's gonna be Cargill.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I don't think it's the right move to change the titles, especially to have Nyla Rose beat Jade, who has not had a loss yet. There were so many opportunities that they could have done it, and now they're like backed into a corner where who are they going to ever get to do it? Are they waiting for Statlander to come back from injury? Or is Britt Baker going to be the one to do it? Are they going to have Saraya do it? Like, who is going to be the one to be there? It better not be Rose. That's all I'm going to say. Saraya, whatever it is. She sucks already over there, and it's only going to get worse.
Listen, really.
So I'm going with Jade on this one. What do we got behind? What do we got behind Cam? We got the WWE AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Acclaimed, versus Swerve and Our Glory.
I want to start this.
Okay.
Scissor me, boy. Let's go. Everybody's sitting right now.
Nope.
I have a little love for my acclaimed. If you so, it's going to be the acclaimed. I think we're going to build on Peter just did. You're going to see a heel turn on what the
Swerve.
sort turn heel on the match.
So you think the Acclaimed are keeping the belts?
Yeah, do.
All right, Prince, you wanna go?
I think the Acclaim definitely got this in the bag. Would definitely see that heel turn from Swerve right after he's gonna attack Keith Lee, and then that's gonna start a story between them two.
Can I just? Does this sound better, or am I still breaking up? Like,
It's better. Yeah.
No, that sounds better.
Way
okay,
better.
so y'all see me hold up my shirt and all that, right? Like that showed up.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the Ass Boys, or not the Ass Boys, sorry, the Acclaimed and the Ass afterwards. And I have a feeling that Swerve's gonna turn heel on Lee.
Cam?
Yeah, not much to add to what Shadow and Prince were saying. I definitely think that Swerve's going to turn on Keith Lee and start their feud. I think Swerve he's going to thrive as a heel. Obviously, he's already moving and walking and talking like a heel. So I think he'll be a fantastic heel. Obviously, I think the Acclaimed are going to retain the titles. Doesn't make any sense why they wouldn't. So, yeah, I'm going with the Acclaimed.
So I'm gonna throw a little curveball into all your plans. What if they both turn heel and just run with the titles?
That'd be wild. That'd be wild.
I think Swerve was doing all this, and Keith Lee was just up against it, playing him, like to give the Acclaim more confidence that they're gonna get it easily, and then boom, they just go off on them, take the belts, and then beat their asses up afterwards, and then you have a heel tag team.
I like it. I can't even argue with it, honestly.
Way
Like
better than what we all said, honestly.
I like it.
But listen.
I don't think it will happen,
Everybody
but that would be
loves
awesome. No,
the
no,
Acclaimed.
nope. Do not love the Acclaimed. Nope.
Because you're wrong.
No.
Yes.
Because I think
absolutely, 100% wrong.
I think their gimmick is based off of trash in WWE, and if they stop doing that, they have nothing.
But let me guess, you enjoyed DX though, right?
Difference.
No, it's
Got
not.
him.
There is.
DX, the Acclaimed is this generation's DX.
No,
Love it or
not,
hate it.
not even close.
Scissor me, daddy.
You're only saying it's DX because it has Billy Gunn in it. It's the only reason you're saying
I
it.
said it before this.
I'm with Shadow, honestly.
If the Acclaimed is this version of if the Acclaimed is this generation of D-Generation X, Billy Gunn just made it official by teaming up with them. Like, oh, we got D-Generation X for AEW of this generation. Let's have Billy Gunn. Friggin' amazing.
Let's move on to the old timers match. Hopefully, the two that are in it can finish it. We got Double J and Jay Lethal versus Sting and Darby.
The grandpas and their grandchildren.
It's essentially what
Where
it
gets
is.
the retirement home here?
Except Lethal is probably closer to Jarrett's age in it all.
Oh, good God, this match is so stupid.
Why?
Okay,
Why?
let's just remove the fact that we have 90-year-old Sting in it. We have Darby Allin. You know I like Sting, so I'm not shitting on Sting here. Darby Allin, I mean, for the better part of a year now, we've watched him. Sorry, I was fixing my computer.
No, that's fine.
We've watched him float. Like, there's really nothing else you can say about it. He's floated for the last year. And then Lethal, I mean, I don't even care much for him in general, period. And then you have the guy that literally broke 3 wrestling companies now helping with yours. Like, I don't give a fuck about Jeff Jarrett. I don't want to see him on TV. The man's like 110 years old. He comes out and smashes guitars like he's fucking Jerry Lewis, for fuck's sakes. Get the fuck off my screen, bro.
He's been in every company, hasn't he?
Yeah, but still, like, if I wanted to watch a skinnier version of Honky Tonk Man on TV, I'd just go back and watch Honky Tonk matches. I don't care for Jeff Jarrett. This is stupid. Tony Khan bringing Jarrett in is going to ruin AEW. We already have our doubts with AEW, but if he's letting Jarrett do what he's supposed to be doing, it's not going to help.
So, Tony Khan always brings all these people in for backstage roles. And yet the first thing they do is they're shown on screen. What's the point? Like, you had what's the one from Madison Rain? She came in?
Yeah.
And what'd she do? She got a title shot her first night. Like, come on. Jeff Jarrett does not need to be there. Sting and Darby better win this. And if they don't, it's just showing what AEW is going. Where AEW is going, in my opinion.
Listen, before Prince cut you off, or Cam, I'm not trying to cut your time here, but I'm over Sting. I love Sting, but I'm over him. He needs to just ride off sunset. Darby Allin needs to be the star that we've seen before Sting got there and before he feuded with Punk. The other two, I don't give a fuck about. They can go back to TNA for all I give a shit.
Well, I agree.
Go ahead, Prince.
First off, amen to what you said about Jeff Jarrett. Second, Jay Lethal, top tier athlete. This man has had some of the best matches. But before we go on, Sting and Darby, I got for the win. Either way, can give 2 shits for this match. That's it. Honestly, like, so far,
All right, so picking back up off where, Shadow, Matt, and what Prince previously said, I've got it written down in my notes here. This is a completely dumb match. Doesn't need to happen at all. I don't even really know why this match was made over a TNT title match was made over a Trios Championship title match was made. I don't see the importance in this match. I really don't. I was telling Prince earlier. I was like, this is pre-show material. This is what this match is. Pre-show material. Why is this on the main card? I don't understand it. And don't get me started on, oh my God, don't get me started on Jeff Jarrett. I've never liked Jeff Jarrett. Never, ever. I was a kid watching him in TNA. I couldn't stand him. Oh goodness. So I don't know why he's in AEW. I have no idea why. As far as Sting goes, I've always had a love for Sting or whatever, but he's got to be getting close to retirement. He's got to be, because what else left does he have to prove? I love Darby. I think he's going. I think what they're trying to do with him is I think he's going to a darker version of Darby. At least that's what they've been teasing. As far as I know, he's trying to break away from Sting or whatever. So hopefully they lean more into that without, obviously turning him full heel, because I don't think he'll work as a heel, honestly. And then of course I like Jay Lethal, whatever. Maybe because we're twins, we're both bald with beards. But I don't know. I think Jay Lethal can do more. He's an incredible talent, but right now they're just giving him table scraps. So I've got, I guess, Sting and Darby for this match. It would be an embarrassment if Jay Lethal and Jarrett win this match. So yeah, probably the worst match on the card, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the bathroom break match, in my opinion.
Facts.
What do we got next up?
That match, you could go take a full on 20-minute shit because I guarantee you it's going 20 minutes.
All right,
Tony Storm and Jimmy.
so we got the AEW Interim Women's Champion. Prince, you want to start off on this one?
So this is Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter.
Yeah.
This match right here, I feel kind of iffy about. I said earlier I'll go with Jamie. After thinking about it, I feel like Tony's gonna retain the title. I don't see Jamie siding with Britt Baker throughout this whole thing as AEW Women's Champion. I'm gonna go with Tony on the retaining.
I mean, there's rumors that Tony Khan wants to strip Thunder Rosa of the title and just make the winner of this the main title, remove the interim tag and everything. If they do that, then I feel Tony Storm will keep the belt, so she gets her reign recognized, because then interim reigns don't get recognized as being an official title reign. If they're not doing that, I feel they might give it to Jamie Hayter, and then have Tony Storm beat when the title comes back, so she officially gets a reign. So, I think we're gonna have Jamie Hayter win this belt though tomorrow night.
Go ahead, Cam.
I think that I think this could be a sleeper on the card. I think both these women could put on a banger match. I got Tony retaining the title. There might be some surprises in here. We might even see Britt Baker come out and cost Jamie Hayter the match, and it might add to their feud that they kind of dropped, and it might pick back up, and Hayter might eventually turn on or finally turn on Britt Baker or whatever. I can see Tony, and this is I don't even know if this is a prediction, but this is kind of like a what if kind of thing. But I could see Tony retaining, and then they do the whole magical lights out thing, and then Thunder Rosa comes back and just absolutely destroys Tony Storm, and turning her heel. That would be amazing. I don't know if that'll actually happen though. That's a big what if. But yeah, I think this would be a good match. So I got Tony retaining. I don't see why they would drop the title to Jamie Hayter quite yet. Go ahead, Jeff.
I don't give a fuck about Tony Storm. Never have, never will. You're pushing the women's division around two females right now, which is Cargill and Baker. Oh, my three is Reyes there. But Amy Hayter is over. And you're not acknowledging that? Why? If Storm wins tomorrow, it's a slap in the face to everything Hayter's done in 3 months. She has worked her ass off. This is her way of separating from Britt Baker and the TW. And if Khan doesn't realize that, all hope, I think, is lost in that women's division. So I have Hayter going over, and if not, the whole women's division is shit.
All right. I kind of agree with you there on most of it, actually. Now we're gonna move to the one match. This is matches on the buy-in, right? Cam, I think this is the match they put on the buy-in.
It doesn't say by.
Blues.
I don't think so.
If the buy-in match over,
No.
I swear to God, if that's the buy-in match.
No, it's not. It's the other one. It's the semifinals for the tournament. Sorry. TNT Triple Threat.
Okay,
You have
wait.
3 big meaty men going into the ring. You got Samoa Joe versus Wardlow versus Hobbs. I'll start off with this one. This match, I think, has the chance to be match of the night because Wardlow has been so good recently. Even though they killed all his momentum, what happened with Samoa Joe, I feel, is starting to build it back up. And Hobbs has potential to be so good if they actually let him wrestle and not just have him out around as like muscle. So I'm kind of want to watch this match just to see what it can turn out to be. I think Wardlow retains because Joe already has the ROH title, and I don't think Hobbs is ready to get the belt from Wardlow. If he does, Hobbs will pin Samoa Joe, but I think Wardlow is retaining.
I, I, I like Samoa Joe, but I don't need to be in this match because Hobbs and Wardlow on their own, I think, would be just great. But you add that it factor, I guess, if you will, in a veteran of the companies within this match, which is fine. Whoever wins, I'm still getting my prediction here, but whoever wins, Joe's eating the pin because it doesn't hurt Joe to eat the pin out of the three of them. And, watching Hobbs, I wasn't keen on him for a while. I slowly watched his progression as a singles guy, and his promo works. His promo still needs to work, but overall, he's probably, I would put him early 2000s Lesnar-esque. Like, he's very powerful. He can move. He's agile. Ward, I'm not 100% on. I feel like he's more of that bodyguard role that you had mentioned there with Hobbs. I just can't get behind Wardlow as champion. He comes out, he does 3 moves of doom, and it's kind of where his game goes, and it's not my style. So I'm gonna go Hobbs over the Jim Wardlow. Joe eating the pin.
All right, Cam.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Matt on this one. It has the potential of being an all-out war between these three men, these three gigantic men. I do think that, based off what Shadow had said, I like Wardlow, I really do. But I think the matches he's had as champ so far have not really challenged him as champion because he just destroys every one of his opponents. So he needs to face somebody that's really going to push him to his limits, and I feel like that'll just make him an even bigger star than he already is. So I think I'm going to go with Wardlow retaining. Obviously, I didn't think about who's eating the pin, but I guess Joe eating the pin does make a lot of sense because he's Joe. He can bounce back easily, so it really wouldn't matter. It's not going to hurt Joe at all to eat this pin. But yeah, this might be another sleeper on the card, honestly, and it might be an all-out war between these three men. So, yeah, Wardlow retaining.
Prince is smiling. He has something to say. Go ahead.
You're not gonna like what I have to say. I say Wardlow takes the pin because the reason why I think Wardlow takes the pin is because this may not look good for him. Wardlow's one of those guys that will triumph through everything you put this man through. No matter what type of brick wall you put this man through, he's going through it. He's going through everything and everybody to get what he deserves. This man has that power, has that speed, has that fight in him that is so strong that nothing and nobody will take him out, no matter if he takes this pinfall or not. It's the fact that Wardlow will triumph through everything. Now, for the win, I'm going with my boy Powerhouse Hobbs. This man, in my mind, has finally deserved this shot. And I think he's going to get it. And I think he's going to pin Wardlow. And the best thing is, for just like Wardlow, This right here will be the best win for Hobbs because this man has proven himself time and time again with the fight. No matter what the odds are, this man can be facing every member of that AEW roster, and he will triumph and he will prevail to be the biggest SOB on the planet, even bigger than Warlow.
That
Samoa Joe, honestly, Samoa Joe shouldn't be in the match. He's only in the match because he turned heel on Warlow. That's it.
yeah, I agree with that one. That's about all I agree with.
That's cool.
No, that's what makes the show what we do. We all have opinions.
Exactly.
We're not all always going to agree, and it actually makes you think that there's the other possibilities out there.
Exactly. And that's a good conversation.
All right, we're going to move on to the next match. We got a steel cage match between Jungle Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. Who wants to start this one?
I start this one. So Jungle Jack Perry versus Luchasaurus. You know, they had a match on Dynamite some weeks back, and it was a surprising banger. Like that was actually a good match. The feud itself is kind of bizarre because like with an injured Christian Cage, Christian's kind of like the narrator in the feud. So and the real feud is not really with Luchasaurus and Jungle Jack. It's really with Jungle Jack and Christian Cage. So I don't know what's going on with Christian Cage's recovery time or whatever, but we definitely need to see Jungle Jack versus Christian Cage sooner rather than later. Otherwise, this feud it might already be. It's DOA right now. It absolutely is DOA, and I feel like them throwing them in the steel cage is just something to spice it up because I think they realize it's gonna get stale, more stale than it already is. As far as my prediction, I don't even know if it matters, but like I guess Jungle Jack, I don't see why they would have him lose. Maybe no, what? I take that back. I'll say Luchasaurus because they're obviously not going to be done with this feud after this steel cage match, unfortunately. So I'm gonna say Luchasaurus. I don't expect this match to be all that good. It'll be okay, probably. It might surprise me, but I have low expectations for this match.
Prince?
Uh, I'm gonna go with Jungle Boy on this one. I think he's been on an uphill battle. This whole going back and forth thing with Christian and Luchasaurus being in the mix. First, Jungle had to worry about Christian. Now he has to worry about Luchasaurus, Christian, and a steel cage. The card is stacked against Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy though, what does he do? He works his ass off. He's gonna fight continuously, no matter what. This is the idea this is the idea behind a babyface, someone like Jungle Boy. I got Jungle Boy for the win.
Shadow, you want to go? Or you want to finish this one out?
Jungle Boy is winning. I'm torn because I don't care for Jack Perry. I like Luchasaurus. Reminds me of me. Big, creepy, and weird. I love it. But to be real with everybody right now, this is the most relevant I've ever seen Christian Cage be in his entire professional career.
And he's not even wrestling.
AEW. He came to AEW. He went to war with Omega. Cool. He won the TNA shit belt, whatever the fuck it was he won. Wasn't even relevant to Omega at the time either. Meant nothing. Now he's getting involved between probably arguably one of AEW's best tag teams that they've ever had in their company. Tag teams, keep this in mind. I'm still kind of mind blown how we haven't seen Marco Stunt back yet. At least throwing shots at somebody.
I don't think you're
I
going.
love Marco, right? He's a little prick. I love him.
Wasn't he?
I heard
Didn't they
he's
not
done.
sign his? They didn't re-sign him.
No, they
No.
let him go quietly.
Mm,
But I mean, he's independent, right? So he can come in, promo, and leave. He doesn't need to be on the show. Like I fell in love with Jungle Express, right? Like they were a great tag team. But the fact that we're looking at Christian 20 years now within professional, probably a little bit longer than that. 25 years, we'll say,
mm.
in professional wrestling, and this is what I feel the most he's been relevant. This man grew up 25 minutes, or excuse me, 35 minutes from where I'm currently living. He's a hometown hero, but he got carried on the back of Adam Copeland. But that's beside the point. This whole feud is because of his dumbass shit, because he's hurt. Keep this in mind, people. AEW brings in former WWE guys. Why did Christian have to retire from WWE? He was hurt. We're going down this path again. He's hurt. He can't be relevant in the wrestling ring. Great manager. Terrible wrestler right now. Period. So I'm taking Luchasaurus in this because, and I switched up because I wanted Jungle Boy to win. But as I get more angry about this, I feel like Lucha's gonna win. But Christian Cage is not relevant in 2022.
I just want this to be done with. Like, I want this feud to be over with. You had Luchasaurus destroy Perry. What was that? At the last pay-per-view where you threw him onto, like, the grates where all the fireworks and everything come out of?
Yeah.
Wasn't that 2 pay-per-views ago?
Oh, so this has been going on for 3 pay-per-views now?
Yeah.
Oh, the last one they went through the last one they went through the table. That's right.
Yeah.
When Jungle Boy came running out of nowhere and used himself like a dart just to get Luchasaurus off the stage. It's gone on too long. This is one of those things that long-term storybooking, it is not. It is dragged out, it's overdone, and it just needs to end. Give Perry the win and move on.
Fair enough.
Talk about a firecracker.
Let's one of them two start this, because I feel like there's a lot of opinions that are going to be said in this one.
So let me start this.
Cam's ready.
Let me. Okay, so first off, I was hyped when Saraya came back, but then when it all went downhill after, the whole she's not even cleared thing, then I literally lost interest like that. I was like, okay, I don't care. Because they're literally just using her as a rating sport. Oh, look, we got Saraya. Oh, I didn't care after that. But my biggest issue with Saraya right now is the fact that she's coming in, and she's basically like the female CM Punk. And let me explain. Because she's coming in preaching the exact same things that CM Punk was. Oh, I'm here to help. Oh, I'm here bringing some kind of veteran, boosting up the newer people, blah, 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 blah. That's the same thing CM Punk said. And then eventually it just became about him. So already she's facing she's facing not just a former women's champion, but she's facing the face of the AEW women's division, Britt Baker. And so Saraya is basically, in my eyes, trying to take over. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So in my eyes, the correct decision in this match is to have Britt Baker win this match. Why? Because they can easily run this back and then play up the story like, oh, maybe Saraya came back too soon. Maybe she didn't get to see every doctor that she could have seen to get, research done or, checkups on her neck or whatever, yada, yada. And then, then have Saraya win. Have them, settle the tiebreaker in a rubber match or whatever. But yeah, that's it. So this match is very important for the women's division. So my pick for this is Britt Baker. It needs to happen. I know it won't because Tony Khan likes his new shiny new toys, and it's not going to happen because that's just not the way he does things. But this is a must win for Britt Baker. Absolutely.
It's starting to look like a massive toy box collection for Tony. Tony is picking his favorite wrestlers up. Ooh, that's $1,000. That's 2,000. That's 3,000. That's $1,000,000. Yeah, buddy, let's get it. Yeah, buddy. Fucking Saraya's gonna win this match mainly because of how Mr. Khan, and I hate myself for saying this, treats AEW. AEW is literally being treated as if fans were running a professional wrestling company. There is more of a fan side to Tony than a boss side. So yes, best and right decision, Britt Baker to win. Most common one is Saraya because she's brand new and Tony tends to treat this as a fan and not a boss. Tony wants to be buddy buddy, and friendships should not be the biggest thing when it comes to professional wrestling. This is a business. This is treated like a business. Friendships don't mean nothing when you step foot in that ring. That's what Tony's doing right now. So Saraya is gonna win this match.
All right. Everybody knows my feelings on Britt Baker. I think she is.
Yeah, you think she's the best?
No. No. Absolutely not. I think she was overhyped. I think she was given everything. I think she is the AEW's version of Charlotte Flair. Don't give me that look, Prince. She's been in all the new matches that they've come out with. She's been the one to do the main events, and she still always had the belt. She should have lost it numerous times. She held on to the belt when she didn't need to, and then she had to get the belt back when she lost it. She's always in the title picture. She's very similar to Charlotte Flair in those aspects.
Fair enough. Okay. Okay, fair enough.
Now,
Okay.
this is the time that I want her to win this match. Saraya should not be back in a wrestling ring. The image that she put online about her being cleared is obviously a fake document. I don't think she's actually cleared. I think AEW cleared her because she wanted to wrestle. And AEW is known to do things like this. Look at what happened with Matt Hardy when he supposedly did not have a concussion and they let him finish wrestling a match. They supposedly have a great doctor in Dr. Sampson. He may be great in the reactions at the time in the ring. He's not great for the long run. I don't think Saraya is ready. She should not be wrestling. She came back as what she was saying was a general manager, so to speak, where she had her voice in the division and she was going to make it better. All she did was make it about herself. That's what she always does. That's not what's needed in this division. Britt Baker needs to put her down and move on. And I normally, like I said, I don't like Britt Baker. I don't really want her to win matches. This is one that she deserves to win and needs to win, in my opinion.
First off, when you speak about Britt Baker,
No.
you include the
Nope.
DMB.
No,
All right?
Not at
That's
all.
where I'm starting with that.
not at all. I'm not Tony Schiavone. I am not Tony Schiavone. I'm not a little puppy dog that follows her around and goes DMD every time she does.
It's just proper. She's a doctor. Are you? I don't think so.
I don't care if she's a
Anyway,
doctor or not.
What I'm saying is,
Is she my
comparisons to
dentist?
Charlotte Flair are
No.
incorrect. I'd love her to be my dentist.
Oh, I didn't say
That's
I
all I'm
wouldn't.
saying.
I'm just saying, is she
so
my...
you do like her?
Yeah.
You heard it here first. He does like her.
Yeah,
Now,
that would be a dentist I would go to.
she'll be calling me baby. All right, move over, Adam Cole. But the realization of you saying she reminds you of Charlotte Flair, I think you're inaccurate and wrong. Because she is not a second generational talent. She is a first. She is the one and only Britt Baker, D. And she has revolutionized a lot of women's wrestling when it comes to certain matches.
What?
Did I stutter?
What?
Oh, good. We're going back 20 years here. All right. But I would arguably say that Britt Baker is top 3 within all women's wrestling across the board.
Yeah.
Definitely better than Charlotte.
As for
Nope.
Saraya, aka Paige, I stopped caring about her after her sex tape leaked. It was cool with her coming back. Again, the nostalgia. She's back. Now, anybody who is my friend that is watching this, I respect Paige for everything she's done, aka Saraya. Okay? There's a comment, I'm sure. Go ahead.
No, I'm laughing at Cam's reaction because he's just
No.
smiling and laughing because he can't control himself after what you said about her sex tape.
Listen, I understand why Xavier Woods, his name is Xavier Woods. But anyways.
Oh, good.
When it comes to Saraya, Paige, I mean, her name is Saraya Knight, if I remember her last name correctly.
That is correct. Yep.
All due respect for everything she's done. She's been wrestling since she was, 13, 14 years old against men. I mean, she's been taken while she was a fetus, for fuck's sakes. I respect her. And I was excited to see her back, don't get me wrong. Like everybody else, when CM Punk came back, to Cam's point, the nostalgia wore off quickly when she opened her mouth. She could have easily came in, kept her mouth shut, not buried her former employee like an asshole, like everybody else that comes to AEW does. And I think she could have been a down force. To Prince's point, we're now getting AEW, the island of misfit WWE superstars. And then to Matt's point with the fake letter, I don't think they're going to put a real documentation letter on the screen. It's just a lot of no and red flags.
Yeah, I
But
understand.
at the same time, I don't believe she's cleared either. I think they're putting her life in jeopardy right now. She might feel comfortable. She's been off, 6 years at this point?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be 6 years, I think, in December. I think it
And it
happened
took
on the
Eddie,
December show.
9 years to fully clear. And it took Daniel Bryan a couple years as well.
Mm-hmm.
It took Stone Cold how many years to start feeling his extremities again? I don't believe she's cleared. In the sense of, I can go. I believe this match is nothing more than ratings because they had a little Twitter beef. And I don't think Saraya's winning. I think that's the right move, and Britt Baker, DP, is gonna walk away champion and still remain the face of that company. Cool, you get the pop, but what does that?
You're putting, I don't mean to cut you off, Shadow, but you're putting a lot of faith in Tony's belief in his new shiny new toys. I'm saying.
And I believe in AEW. Won't succeed.
All right, we're losing Shadow again. I don't know.
I can write.
There we go.
I can write better storylines than Tony. Plain and simple.
Yeah, that's
I'm
about.
done with this conversation.
In our chat, Nightmare _ Wrestling just said Saraya is a special attraction like Sting. I can say that, like it should not be somebody that wrestles all the time. She's probably better off being like how she was as the GM when she was in WWE. Like she's the person. She has a personality. She could talk if she doesn't over talk. If she says what she needs to say instead of trying to always be like the focal point. But let's move on to the next match. We have the what is that? The Fatal 4-Way for the ROH Championship.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, how did I didn't really see this one? How this formed? I know two of them were former champions. How is Sammy involved in this?
Honestly, I don't even really know.
Okay, I thought it was just me.
Sammy's
This
involved.
this match or whatever is just kind of, in my eyes, thrown together. Again, this is another match on the card that I don't really get why it's on the card. I just don't get it. It's like they're throwing stuff at the wall and just seeing what sticks.
Oh,
Honestly, it's like they're literally trying to keep the Ring of Honor World Title alive because it's just on life support, and they realize that. So I'm not sure why this is on the card.
you
I'm not even trying to see anything.
you mean like what they always do? Add matches just to add matches for sake. So the shows are
Yeah,
like 5 hours long.
pretty much,
Yeah.
and they
Okay.
don't need to.
Yeah,
Go ahead. I think you gonna say.
Hmm?
I think Prince was gonna say something.
good Prince.
So this conversation is gonna be a lot longer than the match, and this is gonna be one of the most predictable matches of the night, because the old show, Chris Jericho, the Ayatollah of rock and roller, is gonna retain the title. There's a reason why they got that Ring of Honor championship around his waist. This right here is business. We're trying to get that stage. We're trying to get that next stage going. And this is a new way of bringing an old company into a new generation of fans that probably don't never even heard of Ring of Honor. I've only heard of Ring of Honor a handful of times. That's it. Never watched it. Chris Jericho is going to retain because he's going to be the one to repeat history for Ring of Honor like he did with AEW by bringing Ring of Honor to the forefront, even bigger than what it already is. Chris Jericho is that guy. Mark my words. Watch that match from beginning to end and watch your boy Chris Jericho win. When? Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Only on pay-per-view.
So, I do agree that the Bride is going to be winning. He's going to retain after he had his little singing solo act on Mass Singer for the last couple weeks. I agree with your point as to what you're saying about how they're using him to build up Ring of Honor. And I think that could be because they have a TV contract in the works for Ring of Honor. And I think that needs to happen sooner than later because they need to get all the Ring of Honor crap off of AEW because it's bringing it down. They're focused so much on, they have so many belts, they're focused on too many things, and it just needs to go back to being about AEW and what made AEW great to start. Because now it's watered down, it's too many things going on, and they're not focusing on what they need to focus. I think Sammy's going to help Chris Jericho win, and that's the only reason he's in this title match. Because otherwise, Claudio should get the belt back. But I think Jericho's going to retain, and it's going to be with the help of Sammy.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you both. I think Jericho's going to win tonight.
What's going on, Fun Time?
Why the fuck is Sammy Guevara on my screen still? This man's spending the page. Bullshit he keeps pulling. No, that's right. That's right, I forgot. Let's fucking suspend Andrade. Let's suspend Eddie Kingston. Why? I'm fucking tired of this kid.
It's
I
funny.
really am.
It's funny how the
So
common denominator is the one that's still there, and the other two are not.
I'm just tired of it.
So, who do you think's gonna win, Shadow?
Jericho's retaining. I'm not going to get into a rant about this whole thing because this is literally JSA versus.
BCC. Yep.
It makes no sense. You might as well just made this a tag team title match and said winner take all, and whoever got the pin out of the tag team got the fucking win.
That actually probably would have been more enjoyable, to be honest.
This is stupid. Take fucking Guevara right out of this. That's a good triple threat match on its own. You don't need fucking Guevara there. This man should not be in AEW right now. He should be sitting at home, suspended, without pay for all I give a fuck. His girlfriend, or his wife, or whatever, is fucking hot, but that's beside the point.
Oh, she's annoying as hell, too.
I mean, she's nice to look at least. She can be annoying all she wants. I'd fuck it. But anyway. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little out of hand here.
No, it's okay. Fun time just asked in the chat, what did Sammy do? Because he said he missed what Sammy has done. So, if you just want to elaborate on why you're going off.
Sammy Guevara, he's talented. Do not get me wrong. I'm not shitting on anything he can do athletically. He is AEW's version of a homegrown CM Punk at this point. He is extremely toxic in the locker room. He's extremely toxic to the fans. He literally dumped his fiance of a year for Tony Khan. It might as well have been Kate Conti. You can't tell me that was just random. So he was obviously being a dickhead behind her back. And he's starting fights with veteran members of the wrestling world. And he's getting to walk around like his shit don't stink. And quite frankly, he's going to continue doing it until he just realize until he fucks with somebody like, I'm going to say Omega. Because I guarantee you the moment he fucks with Omega or Jericho, two arguably biggest names, I'll throw in Moxley just because, then you'll see some repercussion. But this kid's walking around like his shit thing, and I'm tired of it. He doesn't deserve title shots. He doesn't deserve to be on TV. That's just how I feel about it. You're going to say something, Prince?
I would like to correct you on something. You're right 100% on everything you said. The reason why, in my opinion, I believe Sammy is somewhat untouchable is because of look who he's hanging with. Look who he's best friends with. Forget JAS. Look at that one specific friend that he has, that he's been friends with for a long time. And that is Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is doing big things right now. Chris Jericho is essentially untouchable because Tony is having him repeat history. This is why, no matter what Sammy does right now at this moment, it's gonna be okay because Chris Jericho is champion and Tony wants to make sure by any means necessary that Jericho is happy. This is truly how I feel. This is truly why I believe Sammy is getting getting everything because of who he's hanging with.
I don't agree, and this is why. Jericho's big on discipline. If you fucked up, you get disciplined. I don't believe he's protecting Sammy.
Okay.
But that's another subject. All right, next match.
We got
We can talk about that later.
the Trios Championship. Death Triangle versus the Elite. So, I'm going to start off with the videos that the Elite was doing were great. And AEW had to go and ruin it by the way that they announced that they were back. They threw their images up on the image for the match, and that was it. Like, what the hell? You're gonna bring back these three people who are easily your top tier talent, possibly the three most popular people on the roster, and you're gonna bring them back by just throwing up their image? Who cares? The reason you did it, it's because you're not selling tickets and you need to get the buys. Because I can go right now on Ticketmaster and I can get a ticket in the front in the third row on any floor section. I can get tickets in the 13th row on the floor section. I can get tickets almost any section that I want because the tickets are not sold out and the event is tomorrow night. And they're worried. And that's the reason that they announced it on Wednesday instead of waiting till tomorrow night. And I think it was wrong. That being said, it is going to probably be a great match. And I do have Kenny Omega and the Elite winning. I know, Prince. I know. I see you thinking. You want to say it. Go ahead.
So my guys, that triangle, and the thing is, that triangle, Kenny and the Bucks, love them all. They are all fantastic, and watching them team up against each other is amazing. With that said, I am going with Kenny and Bucks, even though I believe that Death Triangle should hold on to these titles a little bit longer, and I prayed Tony actually makes that happen. Doubtful, but I want Death Triangle to retain because they have been doing so fantastic with what they've been able to do, with how they've been able to handle the trios titles. And you know what? I feel like Bucks and Omega, even though they were stripped of the titles, I believe with them coming back, it should be them working for it, work back up to it. And that's the thing. Whether you lose the title because you lost the match or because you were stripped of it because it's up or because of injury, when you do come back, you should have to work for it. Maybe not so much, not so much, but give us something to hold on to. Yeah, your name holds a lot of weight. The Bucks and Omega, that's a lot of weight to be holding, So you don't have to put in that much work, but at least do something to get a story started. And Bucks, Omega, and Death Triangle with the right story, with the right time, could be even better than what it most likely be tomorrow night.
Cam?
Okay, so first off, Prince, I love you, brother, but I highly disagree with that because AEW, much like Matt was saying, they, especially with all the Ring of Honor stuff and all the titles and things like that, they have too much on their plate as it is to set aside yet another storyline that they cannot handle right now. They don't have the time, the TV time, or whatever you want to call it, to carve out some great storyline for the Elite and Death Triangle. They're just not going to do it. They're just not. So, and I listened to what Matt and I listened to what a lot of people were saying about how they brought the Elite back. Honestly, at the end of the day, I don't think it matters because I think it's the Elite. Like, they're going to get what they want, regardless. Like, call it Tony playing favorites or whatever. The Elite are, since Cody left, the Elite are the centerpiece of AEW. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that as the faces of the company or whatever. Take that as you will, but they are the centerpiece, and they're going to get whatever they want. So as far as who I have winning this match, man, as much as I want Death Triangle to win this match, I feel like they're not going to bring back the Elite and have them. I feel like they're going to get these titles back and be the 2-time trios champions. Where does that put that triangle after that? I don't know. Where does that put the title scene after the elite win the titles back? I'm not sure. It's a big question mark. And now in saying that, I do still believe this could be the match of the night easily, because these 6 men in the ring are going to put on a absolute banger of a match. I have no doubt in that. Honestly, I really don't. But it's just it's a really weird situation. I feel like the elite might go. I think they might go in a newer direction at being heels. They're just going to be, cocky and like, oh yeah, we can do whatever we want, blah blah. We can push around Tony Khan, yada yada yada. Because that would make more sense. Like, because I don't see them coming back. Yeah, they're going to get cheers and whatever, but I don't see them coming back and playing up to the crowd and trying to be baby faces, because that just wouldn't make sense. Especially given what we already know what happened with the elite and CM Punk situation and all that. So yeah, but I got the elite winning this match, unfortunately.
Shadow?
Go ahead. I'm just trying to do something.
Well, all right. So we'll have to come back to Shadow on that one in regards to this match. Yeah, it should be a banger because the 6 people involved are all amazing in their own right. I do love the entrance that Death Triangle has built with the titles. I love how they come out. Like, it's just sick. Like, and because everybody knows that one tunnel is a heel, one tunnel's a face, and then you had Cody have his own center thing. And the way they're doing it now, where they're using both, it makes you think, are they going to split at some point? Is one going to turn heel and go against the other? So I think they're planting little seeds by the way they're doing it, but it is a pretty sick entrance.
Agreed.
I'm curious as to how the crowd is going to react tomorrow once the elite come out, because it is a New Jersey crowd and they are crazy. Well, they can be crazy. But
Matt,
yes,
Axel's.
he wants to join. Hold on. All right, he can join. He joined the cast. Okay. All right. All right, Shadow, you want to talk about your prediction for this match?
All right. I didn't mean to come in like that. My whole setup goes.
Yep. Well, everything's getting moved around, so I'm going to reorganize the.
I'm going to stay off camera. Axel can go on. Sorry for the technical issue, guys. My computer just literally decided to. I don't know.
That's all right. I'm fixing as we're going.
Yeah, welcome in, Axel, to Off the Top.
Appreciate
We're a
that.
little bit into the card by now. We'll continue the order right now, and then we'll go back and get your thoughts on a few of the matches there.
All right,
All right.
Shadow. So, give your thoughts on the trios, and then we can have Axel step in.
Perfect. Oh man, I really don't like, and I know you guys have already covered this. I don't like how they announced them on Wednesday. It makes absolutely no sense, other than the sales are down or something. Like we're not all oblivious to what the hell was actually going on. I like the Elite's approach to trying to quote unquote go the WWE way with trying to get social media involved with their video packaging and everything, and erasing the Bucks and the Elite, if you will. I'm just not a big fan of the fact that they revealed 4 days early. 3 days early, when you could have just had them come out, because apparently they're going to have a whole new theme song as well coming out on Saturday. Nobody would have known it was them right away. And it would have been a shock and awe, because you're like, oh, who's this? And then boom, there's the Bucks and Omega standing on the stage. But to me, I I'm going Death Triangle mainly for the fact that I don't think they should lose them yet. Axel, your thoughts?
This would have been a great surprise. Really would have been. But as you guys know, me and Prince went to AEW, and they had one of those little video packages. And I told Prince in the video, you could see the clock, and it's the exact same color as the gears from Full Gear poster. So right then and there, you already knew they were going to come. You didn't know how, though. Then this happens. They've been disappearing, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, they reappeared. And it's simply because either, like Shadow said, ticket sales are down, or they're really worried about nobody buying their pay-per-view. Because again, that's $60. It really ruined it for me. Now, I didn't know they were going to have a new theme song. That would have been cool. But
Yeah, I didn't realize that either.
and it's like, I'm just upset it got ruined, even though you could really tell already, but a big surprise would have been better. But I'd be crazy not to go with Kenny and the Young Bucks. I mean, that's just me.
With the theme song, so that way everybody knows what the hell I'm talking about. The Young Bucks alluded to using Kansas Carry Onward. Carry on my wayward son. Because they want to use it. And they haven't been able to get the licensing for it for a long time, and I guess the Bucks have finally worked it out. Whether or not Full Gear it happens or not, I don't know. Maybe it's just a BTE thing. I don't know. But they required some of the rights to it to be able to use it. So we'll see going forward, I guess. Ooh, the match of the night that everybody has been waiting for. Cam, you look like you're professional over there with your reading glasses and all that.
Yeah.
Why don't you start us off?
Honestly, I think I probably have said this already twice before. This could be another match of the night candidate. Honestly, this is probably going to be obviously a bloodbath, gory match. Obviously, because Mox is a psycho. So, but yeah, I think this is gonna be a great match. The ending is very. A lot of people have had different theories. People have said, they feel like William Regal is going to turn on Mox and join MJF. There's even been a theory that I saw where this whole thing with MJF and the Firm could be a gigantic swerve, and they could just easily join up with MJF again and help him beat Mox or whatever. I just don't see, like, with this whole like MJF character change or whatever, and like even Mox has alluded to it too as well, where it's like he doesn't really. It's like MJF doesn't know who he is anymore, so it's like he's struggling to be the MJF we know in a baby-faced MJF, which we have not seen yet from MJF in AEW. So it's very odd, but I just don't see him winning this match cleanly. That's just not MJF. So whether it be Brass Knucks from William Regal or Dynamite Diamond Ring somehow pops up out of nowhere, or a low blow or something like that, I don't see MJF winning this match cleanly. I just don't. It's just not his style. But all in all, that doesn't really matter. End of the day, my prediction is MJF winning this match. Absolutely, 100%. He needs to be crowned World Heavyweight Champion, and it's just his time. Absolutely. So, yeah, Mox has done everything he can, carrying the company on the brand on his back for the better half of a year now. So, yeah, MJF 100%.
Fair enough. Axel, your thoughts?
And this is like probably the hardest thing I'm ever gonna have to watch for the remainder of the year. You don't know, big Moxley fan, been a fan of Moxley since 10 years ago today. The Shield, Dean Ambrose. But it's time. I'm not the biggest AEW fan, but I've watched it, and I know when it's time for that person to win the title, and it's MJF's time. I don't know if you guys saw the promo they did off air when Tony was in the ring with him. It's time. Granted, it's predictable. I get it, but we're finally getting what we want, and I feel like Tony learned his lesson with the whole. I always forget this man's name, Hangman. Because when they finally gave him his thing, the booking was terrible. But I feel like Tony learned from his mistake, and yes, we know that MJF is about to win. But I feel like this championship run he's gonna have is gonna be really good. Finally, we could put to bed the WWE stuff, and everything like that. And as far as the match, I've talked about it with my group chat, and we've all collectively agreed that Regal's turning.
I have a whole thing already written down for this that I'll discuss.
And I didn't see it at first, but it's just you can see from MJF and Regal's promo to when the little interactions after that. It's there because it's MJF. He should have been knocked Regal out by now. He hasn't had issues knocking anybody out, whether it's a person in the back, an interviewer, referee. It doesn't. Come on, it's MJF. But it hasn't happened, and it's gonna suck because again, I love Moxley, but it's his time. He's held the company for a while, but let MJF do it now. My pick is MJF, as much as it hurts me to say that.
All right.
I'll say this. I didn't mean to cut you off, Shadow. But imagine this two acts. Like by the end of the match, right? Regal helps MJF beat Mox, and then they have like a Stone Cold and like Vince McMahon kind of moment where they're like shaking hands in the middle of the ring. Like just picture that image. Like that's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. They have it. It's right there. It's right there.
All right. Matt, your thoughts? Let Prince go ahead of me, and then I'll go.
I'm actually excited for this match. I think it is MJF's time. Moxley has carried AEW since he stepped into an AEW ring, regardless whether he had the belt or not. But over the last 6 months, he probably has been like the one to keep AEW afloat because their ratings have been faltering. You can see that their attendance has been going down. But Moxley is the one that's been the heartbeat of AEW. That being said, I don't think Regal is turning. I think we're going to see the group that MJF brought in, and I think they're going to realign with them. And I think it's been all a ploy the entire time for them to go against him. And I think it was just to make it look like he's going to do it all on his own, and then they're going to come back and help him win. And I think that's how he's going to win. MJF doesn't need Regal. He could talk. You don't need Regal. Regal's there as a mouthpiece. The perfect person for Regal to be with is Claudio. That's who he should be with. Because Claudio is not great on the mic. That's the one thing that always hurt him in WWE. But I think Moxley's MJF's gonna win using the firm.
Fair. All right, Princem.
He's going to win this. He's going to take out Moxley. Moxley's going to be the guy to bring MJF up to that next level because we've all seen Moxley bring out the best in every single person that he has faced. MJF will be the next guy to win clean, very clean, with no outside interference. MJF is gonna win this and bring AEW into another 3 fucking years. This is the time that MJF finally wins. This is the time we've all been waiting for MJF to get. He's finally getting it. And come tomorrow on pay-per-view, November 19th at 8 o'clock, where only on pay-per-view, MJF is gonna win hands fucking down. Where? November 19th, only on pay-per-view. Call your local provider.
I should start getting paid from AEW because this guy's doing the promotions. Is AEW our sponsor now? Am I getting paid from them? Let's go.
AEW is my baby. AEW is my baby. I should be the one in Tony's shoes. Tony is fucking lucky to have one of the best upcoming companies, and he's not treating it fucking right. And it's sickening.
Yeah. All right. So, what I have written here kind of touches on everybody's point. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. MJF isn't talking about himself. He's speaking about William Regal. Regal will turn on Jon Moxley and help MJF win the AEW World Championship. And don't say I didn't tell you this was coming. You might ask, why would he turn on his own group? But what does the group actually need Regal for? Does Bryan need Regal? No, he's fine without him. Does Moxley need Regal? No, he's doing fine without him. Claudio probably could use someone to speak for him. But Regal doesn't do that now. Wheeler, I mean, he isn't going to be a part of the group much longer, in my opinion. So it really doesn't matter. MJF doesn't need a mouthpiece, but I could see Regal being his mentor, similar to Ric Flair was for Triple H. Triple H didn't need Flair to talk for him, but Flair added something huge to Triple H's character. He was there to help him cheat. He was there to talk Triple H up. And he was there. And when Triple H was worried about a babyface, Ric Flair was there. That's what I see William Regal bringing to the mixture with MJF. I think it's the perfect pairing. So I have MJF winning. I mean, if you don't, you're just a fucking moron. But it's time, like Prince said and everybody else said, it's time for AEW to have a homegrown talent be that step-up champion. So that is my spoiler for tomorrow. I actually wrote something which is not like me. Like,
No,
yeah.
definitely not like you.
But I put that well together. Come on now.
So, we have all gave our opinions on every match of the card tonight. Axel has recently joined us and has given us a few of his. I want to get some of the other predictions from Axel on his thoughts on some of the other matches. I'm going to eliminate matches that we feel are not even worthy of being on the card, because I don't even know if you really want to speak about any of them. So I'm gonna name matches and I'll give you the option of speaking about them. So we have the Old Man match, which is Sting and Darby versus Jarrett and Lethal.
It's a quick one. You can't convince me that Darby and Sting aren't going to win. Sting is undefeated. I feel like they're going to keep it going.
Okay. You have Jade versus Nyla.
I'll be honest. Not for me, but I'll go with Jade on this one.
Okay. The Fatal 4-Way for the ROH Championship.
Who's in that match again?
You have Chris Jericho versus Bryan Danielson versus Claudio Castagnoli versus Sammy Guevara.
I thought that was a 10 match. Oh.
See?
Because which should be.
The way they showed it, it looked like a tag match. All right, so that's wow, that's interesting.
I even said it should have been booked that way.
I'll go with Bryan Danielson.
Ooh, okay.
We have the Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus.
I'm so interested to see how they do it. I can't wait, but I'm going with Jungle Boy. I just can't wait to see how they get it done, though.
So before you go into that next match, Cam too, because he's doing the screen. Matt, I had said, Axel, that this is probably the most relevant I've ever seen Christian Cage be in his entire career of professional wrestling.
It's like, I mean, do we really? I mean,
He was carried by Adam Copeland, plain and simple.
it's so bad.
All right. Moving on to the next one. What's the match before that? Okay. Baker versus Saraya. Saraya, however you say it.
Psoriasis, I don't know.
He said psoriasis.
Hey, Britt Baker said it first. Britt said it first.
Hey, just like I told to Matt, you put respect on Britt Baker, DMD, motherfucker.
Listen, she said it first. I use it. Listen. But this match is gonna it's gonna be real good. I feel like Sarat, whatever, is gonna bring out a lot out of Britt that a lot of people probably haven't seen. And I'm probably gonna go with the crazy pick here, but I'm taking Britt.
Thank you.
Again, I just see Tony finally realizing his problems and what he has done wrong. You can do the things with them WWE people, but remember who's already been here.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
Me too. Me too.
We did that match. He had his opinion on this one.
Yeah, he was going the other way.
Did that match.
What else is on the card?
Waiting to see. Okay.
This one.
The TNT triple threat.
Big meaty men slapping meat.
That's all you can really say. I mean, and it's real. That's extra meat.
Don't call Arby's because AEW's got the meat tomorrow.
but I see this going the same way I do with the Brit thing, man. Powerhouse Hobbs, man. There's no other way. Come on. Wardlow already had it. It's been eh.
Oh.
Samoa Joe, that's just to be in there. Has to be Hobbs. You've built them up all this way. Broke up a good tag team that could have had the tag titles in Ricky Starks and Hobbs. Show us why you did that. Make it make sense.
Who do you have eating the pin? Who do you have eating the pin?
Wardlow.
Okay. I picked Joe because it doesn't hurt him.
True.
So
But I could see Joe putting Wardlow to sleep again.
bouncing off of what you just said, Axel, of make it make sense. Have they ever made anything make sense?
Thing. I'm going into this
In the 3 years that they've been in business, have they ever done anything that's made it make sense?
You're asking a guy who paid $60 for the first pay-per-view, me seeing the main event being a fireworks show when it was supposed to be an exploding barbed wire death match.
You mean sparklers?
Yeah, sparklers.
That I could go buy at the dollar store?
Eddie Kingston sold it, though. He sold the hell out of it.
Probably the only man that did that night.
But that is true. But there comes a point in every man's life where you got to just, like, realize you were wrong. You got to take the L and just move forward. And I feel like with all the backstage stuff with CM Punk and everything, I feel like Tony's maybe not. This pay-per-view will prove it. But I just feel like he's finally got it.
Because the build has been so lackluster.
Which is true.
All right. What's the next match you have up there?
It's the Tag Team Championship match, The Acclaim versus Swerve and Our Glory.
Okay.
For me, this is pointless because the Acclaimed are going to win. It's just who's going to turn on who on Swerve and Keith Lee's side. I don't know yet.
I say Swerve. Swerve. He's walking, talking.
Yeah.
Like his swag just
For
screams.
that, I'm gonna just say Keith.
So I made a good point to them earlier
Keith is-
today. What if they both turned, went heel, and just took out the Acclaimed after winning the titles?
That would hurt. But it could happen.
I mean,
Yeah.
how many heel tag teams are there right now in AEW?
Not a lot.
Not many.
I don't even think I can really name one other than Death Triangle. That's a trio.
You don't have any.
Yeah.
They need to make one. And the way they've built this up is Keith Lee is the person that's getting affected by everything that Swerve is doing. And what if he finally goes along with it and joins them? And just full-fledged heel turn for both of them.
Or there could be a debuting superstar or somebody else coming back that could align himself.
Oh God, no! Please, no! They don't need any more debuting superstars. They're not going to do.
I said,
anything.
or coming back, motherfucker.
Jesus Christ!
I mean, fuck, might as well just pair him with fucking JJ at this point. Jesus. Either way, they need to quarter off my TV.
And I think the only other match that would be left would be the interim women's championship. Storm versus Hayter.
I mean, good thing this was the last one because I wish I could care because if Jamie wins, who gives a crap? Because it don't count because it's the intern. Who cares? Everything Tony Storm is doing, it won't count. Who cares?
To your point there, I said you have to have Jamie win. I understand.
but then it's.
I understand it's all for nothing, but at the same time, you can't have her putting in the work she's doing. She needs to separate herself from Britt Baker. She's arguably completely over it more than any woman in that division right now. Toni Storm has always and always will be boring to me. Like, she's basically, and I didn't say this the first time around, Toni Storm is basically a direct ripoff of Rhea Ripley. I said what I said.
Yeah, facts. Watered down version. But yeah.
Sheesh.
Axel has nothing to say to that.
I like Tony.
I can respect it.
She's just not. It's not working right now.
She's just not it.
It wasn't working in WWE either.
Yeah, it really wasn't.
They had her in a title picture with Charlotte, even though she got a pie in the face, and she still walked out of the company because she couldn't handle it.
I'd still let her put her pie in my face, but that's beside the point.
Stop it.
But I will go with Jamie.
Check out minute marker, hour and a half on our pod.
Well, that's a good clip right there. All right. But, all right. So this is like a 25,000 match card because Tony doesn't know how to book pay-per-views smartly anymore or at all. So let me start off, Prince. I want an overall ranking of how you think this pay-per-view will go.
How are we ranking it? Like 7 out of 10 ranking? 4
We'll
to
go.
5?
We'll go out of 10. Out of 10. Because there's like 30 matches on the card, so 10 makes sense.
Yeah. I'm gonna give this a rating of 6 mainly because John Moxley and MJF.
Who steals the show?
MJF,
Okay.
hands down.
Axel.
I'm gonna go. This has the potential to be. Don't kill the messenger. A 7.5 out of 10, if booked correctly.
Okay. Matt?
Fun time production. It is sad that the only thing that you care to see from this card is that the announcement of the Fight Forever game.
That would be Kyle. What up, Kyle?
I think this is going to be a 7 out of 10. And I think the person who can steal this show is actually going to be Hobbs. I think Hobbs has a chance to steal the show and surprise a lot of people.
All right. Cam?
Overall, I think this show is going to be a 5.5 out of 10. I think it'll be okay. I think with there being 2 million matches on the card yet again, same mistake from All Out. I think it'll start off. The pacing of the card will start off really good, and then the middle of the mid card would just be rushed, like what we saw at All Out or whatever, which we don't want to see. If they're going to do that, they might as well just save it for Rampage, honestly. But yeah, it's going to be 5.5 out of 10. I don't think it's going to be a fantastic show, but it'll be okay.
Fair. With the optimism of this, willing to give it an 8 if booked correctly. Now, we both, or not both, we all know that that's probably not going to happen because Tony Khan's a crackhead. But I'll give it, if it's not booked correctly, it'll be a 6.5 for me. And my steal of the night is going to be the Bucks and Omega. Because now Omega has had time to heal. He can actually, more than he was when they brought him back the first time. He was brought back way too soon. Now he's had his time to heal up a little bit more. I feel like they're going to steal the card. And the moment of the night, though, is going to go to MJF. It's going to be like a Shawn Michaels boyhood dream come true.
Yeah.
Almost in his hometown, too. Not far from Long Island.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit about Long Island.
The reaction he's going to get when his music hits is going to be insane. And
so that is it. That concludes our full gear predictions. Axel, you're new here. Tell us where we can find you, my man.
You guys can find me on TikTok, Axel Guzman 1017, AXELGUZMAN 1017, and you can find me on YouTube, Wrestling Chop Shop. And I appreciate you guys for having me on, man. Thank you, Shadow.
Appreciate you being here. Prince, thank you once again for coming out and giving us your wrestling opinion. Where can we find you?
You can find me on TikTok doing some crazy, wild, funny ass stuff every night, whenever I choose fit.
Bye, Sammy.
Cam, as our newest member of the team, where can we find you?
You can find me on TikTok at Cam's Wrestling Corner. You can also find me on Instagram at 317 Bacon Eggs and Cam.
That is the most creative thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm sorry, Shadow. That's probably the most creative way I've heard something. Go ahead.
Matt, where can we find you, man?
Every time I want to look him up on TikTok, not TikTok, on Twitter, because I'm trying to tag him in the videos, and I was like, it's not Twitter, it's Instagram. I can't do it. You can find me on Twitter. I have Scowls24, but we also have the Off the Top Twitter, and then we're also on YouTube with the Off the Top LLC handle.
And you can find my annoying funny ass on TikTok at thatguyshadow.91. We also have our Off the Top LLC page on TikTok, which you can find there as well. Content more to come. We should be getting back into the swing of things here, guys. Conflict scheduling and everything is hard, but we're going to pump out as much content as we possibly can before the new year. And
pay-per-view scheduling throwing kinks in it as well.
Yep. You can catch us, I don't know when next week, but we're going to be dropping a Survivor Series prediction. I would assume probably Friday if everybody's schedule lines up.
Yeah, it'll either be could either be Wednesday night or Friday. We got to figure out which day works best for everybody.
And I have to shout out Nate. He couldn't be with us tonight because he had prior engagements, but his opinion on this card was, and I quote, a toilet flush. So thanks for coming out. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Leave some opinions, leave some comments, give everybody a follow, and we'll see you in the next one.
Have a great night, guys.
Yep.